Okay, so we are back on one of the alts. We're going to show you how to do Unova using the double typlosion blastoise strat. This is only going to be the Unova region. This is specifically for my friend Reeve, just to kind of show him the route that we use to clear it as fast as possible. And we're going to be clearing it in about 25 minutes, give or take. So I'm going to show off Miyamoto, which is a boss trainer that pays extremely well. I always start against him. You do not have to challenge him. You can just skip that fight and then go to once I grab my typlosion team. But it's probably important for you to watch how to do it. You just go in there with a strong team, and after you play him so many times, you'll be able to beat him. But for now, you can probably just skip him. I would fight him when you're not on a charm, just to try to get used to it. One thing that's important, if you are running alts, you have an account box, so you can swap your mons back and forth from that. So, with that being said, we're going to kind of get going. I'm going to use a Riches Charm, again, until you are like very proficient with these gym runs. I would just use an amulet coin, but I'm going to do a Riches Charm because once I clear this region, I'm going to kind of continue on in my run, but I'm not going to show you that. So one thing to note about Miyamoto is, like, I'm not a PvPer. This is probably a shitty team, so don't use this as an example to beat him. This is just kind of what I threw at the wall and what stuck. So, like, this is just what I use. I also use it to beat Cynthia, but she's only available when it's spring and summer in game, so we're not going to get to show her off today, but yeah. And where Miyamoto is right next to this PC here. You just come up, and it's in this building. And you go right here. Now, if you're not going to fight him, don't pop your charm until we get to the next gym. So I'll show you that, but like, I'm going to pop my charm right here. If you're not going to fight him, if you're not used to fighting him yet, just skip him for now. And then you could skip ahead in the video, but I would still watch it at least the first time. And then you would pop your charm on the bug gym. So, but this is where I'm going to pop my charm, and we'll kind of get going. And I really like again, I'm not a PvPer. I do know that he has one team that my Alakazam is really good into, and I'm thinking it is this team, so we might see my Zam sweep, but that's probably not the norm. I would recommend some kind of a strong lead, but you're gonna have to play around with that and figure out like who your good mons are. It's not that hard to beat this guy. You just have to practice, and he pays better than a gym, so that's why I like to do him. But don't see this and say, oh god, I gotta have an Alakazam, because I just kind of got lucky that this is the one team that my Zam sweeps, but usually he'll just trade in the beginning and then I go into another strong mon. So but yeah, we start with him. And we're going to go straight back to the PC. Remember, it's always better to teleport than it is to fly to the gym and then heal there. One thing to note, like when you're swapping your mons like that, if you're ever doing that, you don't have to heal them because they'll heal inside of the when you put them in the box. So you don't say if half my team was dead there, I would have just swapped them into the box, and they would have healed. So you don't have to heal your team before you put them away. So this is where if you didn't do Miyamoto, you would pop your charm right here. And this gem, you just set Sun, Tailwind, and Erupt. Very simple. And you want to have it have your team in the standard order, because we're going to go right into the Ice Gym after this, and we're just going to Erupt with the typlosions. So this is a free gym. Pretty much all the gyms in Unova are free, so it's very nice. The only negative about this gym is like all of his mons have focus sashes, it seems. So like it's always going to be 2 eruptions per turn, which is kind of slow because the eruption animation is like 6 seconds long. So this will be one of the slower gems, but like it's still worth it because it's 100% consistent. Okay, so we're going to leave this gym. And we're going to go straight to the Ice Gym. Just watch where I go on the map because I don't know the cities by name, but it's in the top left, which is Icarus. So now that your Torkoal and Cottony are deceased, we're going to be leading our Typhlosions. And you just spam Eruption through this gym. Which is pretty much what we do with all the ice gyms. You can just lead the Typhlosions. Sometimes you run the risk of like some of their mons will have evasion in the snow, and if you get really unlucky, they could not die and potentially freeze you with Blizzard, but like even still, you're not gonna lose if you know. So okay, so I'm gonna show off the 2 richest trainers. Now you can do this at any point during the run, but you're gonna want to make sure that it's after a gym so that your Torkoal and Cottony are dead. So you come over here to the rightmost city on the map, which is Undella Town, then come up here. and there's going to be an old man and an old woman right here. And all you do with these two trainers is spam flamethrower, and each trainer takes about a minute to sweep. And if you combine them both, both of them together pay better than a single gem. So I always do these two trainers, pretty much. At least for this particular strategy. So and you just come up here, do the same thing with this guy. And remember to click flamethrower, because you don't want to spam eruption because you're going to run out of PP. So this is why we like to have flamethrower on our typlosions, is specifically for these two trainers. Okay, so now teleport heal. And we're gonna go to the fire, grass, water gem and striation. So this is where I like to swap my typhlosions with my blastoise, because I'm going to do it water, fire, grass. You can do it in any order, but the water gem you have to lead your Torkoal and Cottony. So that's what we're going to do here. And the beauty of this gem is you can clear all three of them without having to heal. So this is probably the most important part of the run. And this kind of showcases how like devastating eruption is in the sun. Like even against resists, it's just gonna sweep. So okay. So since our blastoise are in slots 3 and 4, we're gonna do the fire gem, and you just set rain and water spout. I don't even think you technically have to set rain, but I think it is faster because it cuts down on one turn or one move at the end. So I don't know, that's what I've always done. So you can do whatever you want. This is probably the freest gym in the game, honestly, so okay, so now you want to swap your typlosions back into slots 3 and 4, so they will lead against the grass gym. And then just fire away. And these are like the best gyms in the game because you can do all three so quickly, and they're so easy. Like you're never going to be outsped, 100% consistent. Like they're so free. So always include these gyms in your run, like no matter what your route is. Okay, so we're going to leave this gym. And teleport heal. And we're going to fly to the normal gym, which is in Nakreen City, if that's how you pronounce that. And this is another straightforward gym. You just set Sun, Tailwind, and Eruption. So just do that, and I will see you after this gym. Okay, we're gonna leave this gym. We're not gonna heal, and so we want to take our second typlosion and swap it with a blastoise. It really doesn't matter which one, but you want to put a blastoise into slot 4. And we are going to take on the electric gym, which is a Nimbasa. And she has a fire immunity mon, so this is why we use a blastoise on this gym. But you don't need to heal when you go into this one. You could if you wanted, but we're trying to do it as fast as possible. So just spam water spout and eruption. And sometimes in this gym you're going to have a mon die, so if you have a typlosion die, just swap it with your other typlosion. If you have a blastoise die, swap it with a blastoise, but you're still always going to win this gym, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so we're going to heal. Now at any point, swap your typlosion back into slot 4. I like to do it during the flying animation. So you're going to see that when I fly to the rock gym here, while you're landing, you can swap mons. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to go to Drift Veil here and take on the rock gym. And this is just another Set Sun Tailwind and Eruption. Pretty much every rock gym, you're going to want to have the Torkoal and Cottony, specifically to clear the sand. So this one does not have a sand setter, but more often than not, rock gyms do. So, and that's partly why we run Torkoal at level 1, because when weather is set, the faster Pokemon sets the weather first, and the slower Pokemon sets the weather second. So since our Torkoal is so slow and so under-leveled, it's always going to set Sun second. So if they come out and set Sand, or Rain, or whatever the gym may be, the Torkoal will always clear that weather and set Sun because it's slower. So that's just kind of the idea with that if you didn't know. Okay, so we're not going to heal. I'm ready to go straight to the flying gym. Which is in Mistralton City, if that's how you want to pronounce it. So we're going to put our blastoise into slots 3 and 4. I like to swap them like during that cannon shot. So this is the only gym in Unova that you have to pay attention to the lead, and you really don't even have to do that, but if you see Skarmory, which is what we're going to get, all you do is Water Spout all the way through. The other 4 teams, just keep in mind that instead of Water Spouting, you're going to set Rain, so you're going to Rain Dance and then Water Spout all the way through. So normally that's what you'll do. You'll Rain Dance, Water Spout all the way through. We got the one gym, which this is the fastest one, where you just spam Water Spout. So keep that in mind. If you see Skarmory, just Water Spout all the way through. Otherwise, Rain Dance and then Water Spout. There is one team that you have a small percentage of losing on, and that's if they lead with Unpheasant. But even with that team, you're going to win more often than not. But, keep that in mind. There's probably like a 1 to 5% fail chance on this gym, but pretty simple. And, yeah, that is how you clear this entire region in 25 minutes. So, good luck. You can go straight into another region or do it in any order you want. I'm heading to Johto next, so I'm going to close out and keep going on my run. But yeah, good luck. And if you have any questions, just let me know.